At Wind River Resort and Casino, we like to celebrate life's little moments. Oh, and the big ones too. Because around here, when you're completely in the moment, that's when the magic happens. Come in and find your moment at Wind River Resort and Casino.
Good morning to you all. I'm Chief Meteorologist Mike Krueger. It is Monday. We got a fresh start to your week here, and it's going to be a little windy out there. I'm noticing the winds. Just kind of looking outside this morning here. Yeah, it's light now. Why? Of course, because we set those clocks back an hour Sunday morning, and as a result, the sun is coming up an hour earlier. So it's kind of nice to at least start with a little bit more sunshine in the morning. But we're going to notice that sun setting. You probably even noticed it last night. That sun sets a lot earlier, so it just makes for, there's a little good and bad in here, right? So it just all depends on how you look at it. And I know it's one of those things we voted on years and years and years ago. What happened? You know how politics work. You know how it works over there in D.C. I mean, it's just, I don't know. Who knows what's going on? I'm not going to get into politics, but you get the idea here. Good morning to Lisa and Chappie. They're kind of chiming in here this morning. The first to chime in was Chappie this morning, so thank you for checking in this morning. It is 7:01. What do you say we get you to Krueger's Quickcast? Yeah, some of you may just kind of tune in and go, I just want to know what's going on here for today, and I'm ready to go for the day. I don't need all the details that I go into. That's the whole point of Krueger's Quickcast. So we can get a little taste of the weather, and then we can go do a deeper dive and a more extended look at the forecast after Krueger's Quickcast. So here's what we got going on here. There is a beach hazards statement. So what does that mean? Well, a beach hazard statement means that there is a risk of sneaker waves. Now, for those of you that live on the coast, you probably already know what that means. Others probably like, well, what's a sneaker wave? Well, a sneaker wave is an unexpected rush of water, or a wave in general, that can come up out of nowhere. You can't really see it coming, and it can catch you off guard. And it can sweep you off from under your feet because it's a lot of water. So that can be very dangerous in many situations if you're on the coast, especially if you're out there rock hopping, right? Because that can just come up, and before you know it, you're swept under your feet, you're on those sharp rocks. It's just not a good situation. So that's what the beach hazard statement is really about. You can't turn your back to the ocean, especially ever, really, but especially on days when there's a beach hazard statement. That is until 10 o'clock tonight for the entire coast. All right, take a look at the radar this morning. Actually, you can see there was a little bit of shower activity just for the last couple of hours. That's pretty much dissipated, but I do expect that to maybe pick up a little bit again for the mid and late morning hours. Right now, we're looking at upper 40s to mid 50s, just depending on where you are. The winds are blowing a little bit stronger to the north. As a result, you've got low to mid 50s in Red Bluff and Redding. But where we have calmer winds, well, you've got temperatures mid to upper 40s. Temperatures in the 20s, 30s for the higher elevations. Hoopa, 46, 50 degrees in Crescent City, and Eureka right now, a temperature of about 43 degrees. Look at that visibility out there this morning. Looks pretty good right now. We take you out to Elk Country, just north of Trinidad, and really, it's always kind of hard to tell based on the camera resolution there, but it looks like there might be some clouds out there this morning. Turning out to be a gorgeous morning right now in Crescent City, as you can see at the Crescent City Harbor District Cam. Wow, right? Just those beautiful colors that you can get. So when you have those clouds in the morning, a lot of times you just get those beautiful colors that kind of pop out there. And there you can see Battery Point there right at the center of your screen right there off in the distance. So just a nice calm start to the day. All right, let's take it back to our Elk Country cam, and of course it doesn't look like we're seeing much out there right now. No elk this morning. Sometimes it's fun to see that. Sometimes they hang out there in the morning. So once again, our visibility is looking pretty good out there this morning. We take you out the door, and yeah, I mean, it's not going to be too terribly chilly out there. Actually, in the valley, we're topping temperatures around 50, but in the mountains, obviously much cooler, in the 30s for most of us. Even Trinity County, down to the upper 30s. The North Coast, mid 40s. At 8 o'clock this morning in Siskiyou County in the upper 30s. So there you can see that storm system that's approaching, coming in from the west. Now it's mainly impacting the Pacific Northwest, and really in particular Washington and northern Oregon this morning. That cold front is going to just clip Northern California, and that is the reason why there is a slight chance for a sprinkle or a light shower, especially to the north. And let's take a look at that on Futurecast. So as we go through the mid-morning hours, and we're right around midday, Most of what Futurecast is picking up on is in Siskiyou, Del Norte, and Humboldt counties. As you head into southern Humboldt County, places like Garberville, probably not even seeing a drop of rain. Now, it's not really showing anything for Trinity County or even Modoc County, and of course everybody else. But, places like northern Trinity County, say Trinity Center, Callahan, for example, could see a stray shower or a sprinkle. And in Modoc County, you could see, especially the northwest, places like Newell, places like that could possibly see a sprinkle, but overall it's dry. And then of course it's dry for the valley and the eastern mountains in general as well. Now some clouds kind of coming in, especially in the mountains, but overall mainly sunny skies for the valley and then clearing out here for tonight. All right, let's take a look at the latest fire perimeter here for the Shoe Fire, 97% containment. Think about it, we've been really watching all last week, the containment going up by 5% each day. Now over the weekend, on Friday, we were at 90%, and we were hoping that the progression of the 5% daily would bring us up to 100% by Monday. Not quite, pretty close at 97%, but conditions are certainly a lot better out there. By the way, and I forgot to kind of mention this. Let's go to it. We're going to do, there we go. We're going to do watch duty. And that is going to tell us what's going on with the fire right to the south near Red Bluff. Because as you know, many of you who maybe live in that area are a little concerned. It's called the Gaylord Fire. Let's take a look and see what's going on there. It's 47 acres. As of right now, it doesn't look like we're seeing much in the way of containment. Although, that being said, looks like, it looks like watch duty is off a little bit here this morning, because if we take a look at CAL FIRE, we're getting a bit of a different story, different picture here. The Gaylord Fire in Tehama County is at 47 acres and 80% containment. So really, they've gotten a handle on this fire here, the day that the fire started yesterday. So that's kind of what's going on with the Gaylord Fire right now. Unfortunately, I don't have access to the fire perimeter, so I can't really show you that. All right, let's take a look at our forecast here for today. And we are talking temperatures in the low to maybe some mid 70s for some of the warmer spots today. Temperatures in the mountains, upper 50s to some 60s in there, mid to upper 60s Trinity County, as well as inland. And for the coast, temperatures in the upper 50s to around 60 degrees. Let's take a look at that 7-day outlook, and you'll notice I've got windy on Wednesday. Now, the reason I put it in for Wednesday, because that's the day I expect the strongest winds. But we could see off and on breezy, borderline windy conditions today and even tomorrow. Temperatures going up and down, upper 60s, low 70s. Now, what I've done here is I put the wording in the 7-day forecast for a chance for showers over the weekend. Depends on which forecast model you look at. The American forecast model has us dry all weekend. The European forecast model has us wet Saturday, not so much on Sunday, but really both forecast models agree that Monday will be the day that we can see the best chance for rain for everybody. So that's what that is on Saturday, Sunday. Don't be too terribly concerned about it just yet if you have outdoor plans. It's one of those things we've got to keep watching it and see if the forecast models can come into better alignment. Now we do have, as you can see here, in Siskiyou, maybe Modoc County. And honestly, I probably shouldn't even put that chance there for Modoc County, because it'll mainly be to the north and west for places like Newell. But El Turas, Fort Bidwell, for example, Cedarville, you're probably dry today. Just the mostly cloudy skies. And then you're dry through the rest of the week, and then, again, that chance for showers as we go into the weekend. Doesn't seem like the cameras want to update, at least on my weather computer system here, for both Highway 99 and Neal Road. So unfortunately, I was hoping maybe they would have refreshed at that point, but they didn't. But looking at Highway 44 at Sundial Bridge Drive, sun is coming on up. All right, well, today is Turtle Bay Tuesday. Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. Oh my goodness, I had a little flashback, didn't I? Yes, Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. And we have got kind of a special treat for you, because Turtle Bay has these really cool things that they call, what do they call them? Experience, behind the scenes kind of experience. And you can hang out with one of the animals for about a half an hour. They'll sit on your lap. You can feed them. And they have a new porcupine, or still a porcupet, because it's still an infant. But they've got a porcupet. And it's the only place in the nation where you can actually have a behind-the-scenes experience with a porcupine. How cool is that? So let's check it out and learn more about Bristle, the porcupet.
Hello everyone, Mike Krueger from Weather NorCal. This is Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals. I've got Sharon Clay with me. I've got Bristle here. Now this is actually something that's kind of exciting because this is the first time you've got a porcupine, or in this case a porcupet, that is part of the kind of the experience, right? That you're doing the behind the scenes.
Yes.
So you didn't do it with Spike before.
Correct.
But you are doing it with Bristle. What makes Bristle different than Spike that you're allowed to do this? Because I mean, it's kind of scary. We've got these quills and all this stuff, right?
Right.
It could get scary, but it's okay.
So here's the thing. We didn't get Spike until she was already 4 years old.
Okay.
So she was a little bit more particular about things. But Bristle came to us at 5 weeks old. So we've been working with him to get him really comfortable with people, really wanting to be around people more.
Yeah.
And he actually chose to start, you can just keep feeding him. He chose to just start being in people's laps all the time. And so since he chose, we said, all right, then you can maybe do this. And so we started doing it with like friends and family to make sure it was safe. And now he's doing it. So now we're offering a behind the scenes experience with Bristle. Probably, I would feel safe saying this is the only place in the country, maybe the world, that you could sit with a porcupine in your lap.
Yeah, I mean, I would never think like, I'm going to let a porcupine sit in my lap. I can't even imagine anybody ever thinking that. But like you say, Bristle's been with you since day one, so that really does make that process a lot easier.
It does, and notice how you're not feeling any of his quills.
No.
No, because the quills are all on the underside of the body. So if you grabbed that hand and slammed him here, you'd end up with quills.
Okay, I'm not going to do that.
Don't do that. So we're not going to do that.
You said on the underside.
So on the back side. So I'm being corrected by Adrian, our camera person there. So anyway, but if you touched him this way, so I'm say touch, and then you can do this and feel how soft
So should
he
I say
is.
touch?
I said it, touch.
Oh.
Isn't that great?
But I don't want to go like this.
No. You would
That
end up
would
with a
be-
lot of quills.
Yeah. No, thank you.
And he's got 30,000 quills covering his body, but he's got nothing on his face, nothing on his belly, so he can sit in your lap nice and gently right now.
So you have other animals that you do this with as well, right?
Yes, and these are like the perfect gift for people for the holidays that are coming up, for Christmas, Hanukkah, Kwanzaa, whatever it is that you celebrate, for birthdays, for Mother's Day, for Valentine's Day. It's the greatest gift for those people that are like, don't get me anything physical, but I love animals.
Yeah.
This is the greatest encounter ever. I find this one incredible because it's a porcupine in your lap.
And like you say, you probably venture to guess this is probably the only place in the United States where you could probably do this.
And then Timber, our beaver, there's also no one that does that one either. So that one's extremely unique. And there are age limits for the beaver. Right now, because he's still small, we don't have an age limit. When he gets real big, we may have to. So now is the time to do this if you have anybody that's, kind of in your, 9, 10, 11-year-old range. That would be about it. But then for anybody younger than that, we also have our behind-the-scenes encounter with Gucci, the opossum.
Yes.
And people love it. Even adults, it doesn't even matter. Like, you see opossums in your backyard and you just don't get how adorable and amazing they are. There is nothing that brings about appreciation and love for these animals more than an encounter.
Well, it's a lot of fun having them in my lap here. And so this is something people can go to turtlebay.org, right? And then is there a link that they can click on?
There is. You go into the animals page, and then there's a link to the behind-the-scenes experiences.
All right, that sounds like fun.
Yeah.
So if you are interested in a behind-the-scenes experience, be sure to go to the website, and you can find out more information on that. I think it really is a unique experience, and you'll really enjoy it here. We're hanging out here with Bristle, but of course you can do other opportunities as well. Well, thank you, Sharon. Thank you, Bristle, for not shooting any of your quills at me. They don't do that.
No.
That's something you see in the cartoons, but not in real life. Oh, see, I kind of scared. Touch. There we go. I kind of startled Bristle a little bit. I'm sorry. All right, so thanks again, Sharon. Thank you, Bristle, and we'll see you next time for another edition of Turtle Bay Wonderful World of Animals.
So you saw it there in the video there, but I just wanted to show you here, if you go to turtlebay.org, this is how you can find out more information about this. So you go to turtlebay.org, right? And then you can see where it says animals. You just hover over it, okay? You hover over that with your mouse, and then you can see behind the scenes encounter. So you click on that, and then it will take you to, and you can watch a video kind of people having their experiences and how cool it is. You can see the cost here, and then all you have to do here, they've got a whole form in here, and you can put in here your name and your phone number, and they'll contact you and you'll set everything up, and it really is neat. I've had the opportunity to have this experience, obviously with animals even outside of what you can do this because we do this segment here, but it is just so neat hanging out with these unique animals. I mean, sure, we all love our pets, we all love our dogs, we love our cats, but when you can have an experience with an animal that's typically out in the wild, it really is neat to be able to have that experience with them, and so much fun. So I highly recommend that you check that out. So just a lot of fun. That was a fun segment here. Check in with everybody out there this morning here. We have got good morning from Kimberly, Lauren Blair. Let's get you some of you on the screen here. This is from Curtis Brown this morning. Let's get this up. You can see Curtis Brown saying good morning, everyone. Had to fast this morning so my coffee will be later. Oh, okay. Oh, you're probably getting some blood work done. That is always fun now, isn't it? Yeah, I have to do that sometimes, and I got to get my blood work done. We have got, Chappie saying, I miss George. Now, those of you who don't know who George is, let's see if George is hanging out. Is George out there this morning? No. George, so every once in a while, I'll take you to the camera here. This is what Chappie's talking about. Sometimes, and it seemed like there was a period of time where for like a week or two, there was always a seagull, and it looked like it was probably the same one. And so we named him George, and the seagull would come out on that roof. And if there were other seagulls on that roof, George would just clear them out and say, this is my roof. Nobody else can be here. So yeah. Chappie, that's kind of what she's kind of talking about here this morning. Here, she's saying, you know, I miss good old George. It's always fun to hang out with George. Who else we got out there this morning? We got Tracy Sackett this morning, and let's see what she's saying. Good morning, of course. We got Tracy Sackett. We got Catherine Schmidt. Bleep. Catherine Schmidt having an order day. Having an ordered day would be great too. Having an ordered day would be great too. Okay. We got Bill Carden saying, good morning, everyone. Have a great day. We got Laureen A. Blair saying good morning. Kimberly is also saying good morning. She's also saying, I love animals too. Well then, Kimberly, maybe you would enjoy one of those behind the scenes experiences at Turtle Bay. Maybe you can convince somebody to give it to you as a gift. That might be fun. Yeah, it's fun. It really is fun. Nice to have some light in the morning show. That's what we got from Rowdy here. Yeah, I mean, it seemed like it was last week Monday. I would open this up and it'd still be dark out there. That's no fun. So now we can start the morning, get ready for the day, and get out there and enjoy some sunshine. And on top of that, it's not too terribly chilly out there, folks. Yes, it's a little cold in the mountains, but in the valley around 50. It's not that bad. A little bit chillier down to the south, though, because the winds are not blowing strong there, but generally in the mid to upper 40s. So, yeah, you might need that light jacket out there this morning. Well, what do you say we get to our deeper dive forecast, and we're going to go into the more extended range here, made possible by Wind River Resort and Casino. At Wind River Resort and Casino, enjoy friendly service, wide variety of specials and promotions, plus all of your favorite slots and table games. I want to thank Wind River for their support of Coffee with Krueger. All right, so this morning we did see a few light sprinkles and light showers that pushed through Del Norte and Siskiyou County, but as expected, they pretty much died out as they moved down to the south and east. And now things are fairly dry, but that could change here later on this morning. And then through the afternoon, chances do diminish. We talked about this a little bit earlier. There's a beach hazard statement until 10 o'clock tonight for Del Norte and Humboldt counties here. Now, what does that mean? What that means is there's a high risk for sneaker waves. What does that mean? Well, a sneaker wave is an unexpected rush of water or a wave that can sweep you out from under your feet. So if you're on the beach, hanging out in the water, right? You can get that rush of water that can just come on up, you know, probably sometimes even above your knees. That can really be a big, you know, and as you know, water can be very powerful, and that can sweep you under your feet. That can drag you back into the ocean unexpectedly. You know, very dangerous, especially for little ones. And if you're rock hopping, you know how on those rocks, you're kind of hopping on the rocks, and, you know, maybe some of those rocks can be kind of sharp. So if you have an unexpected rate, you get swept under your feet and you're on those rocks, it can be very dangerous. So that's what a beach hazard statement is, and that's why sinker waves are a big concern. Temperature-wise, again, mid-50s for Redding, although cooler in Chico. Why? Winds are calmer in Chico. They're stronger in Redding. So think of it this way. Think of a glass of water, okay? So you've got the cold water, and then you put some hot water on top of it. That hot water just sits there on top of the water, right? But what happens is, if you mix up that water, all of that water becomes, you know, kind of a mixture of that cold and warm air, so it kind of tends to warm that water up a little bit here. So that's kind of the same concept. The air is calm, it's cool as a result. The air is blowing, so as a result, it's mixing up that air and preventing the temperatures from getting as cold. There you can see temperatures in the low to mid 20s in the mountains. 35 though for Mount Shasta City, 35 in Weaverville, temperatures in the 40s and 50s. It looks like a bit of a wind out in Crescent City, keeping those temperatures up a little bit. Slight chance for mountain and some coastal showers, especially the first half of the day. The second half of the day, probably slimmer chances. Drier and warmer this week. Gusty winds, elevated fire risk, especially on Wednesday. And now I've got Wednesday in there, but keep in mind, we could see off and on breezy, borderline windy conditions today and tomorrow as well. But I think the strongest will be on Wednesday. We got a chance for rain and snow in the long range as early as possibly this weekend, but it depends on which forecast model you look at. We'll talk about that in a little bit more detail here as we take a look at Futurecast. But there are the winds this morning, so you can see a little bit gusty here. So we're talking over 10 miles per hour, but 4 miles per hour in Chico. Again, that's why it's a little bit chillier out in the Chico area right now. Let's take a look at Futurecast and take a look at the winds and what we're expecting them to do. So 10 o'clock this morning, there you can see some of those gusty winds out there. We take it in noon, still a little gusty, but you see it's not major, right? We're talking upwards of around 20 miles per hour. And then you can see this afternoon, there's still a little over 20 miles per hour, and you'll see it's mainly in the valley and the surrounding foothills. Some of those higher mountain peaks could also see some gusty winds as well, but overall, it's not a major wind event today. Now you'll notice tomorrow morning the winds are getting even stronger, 20, 25 miles per hour in the valley, some of the surrounding foothills. They kind of pick up even around noon and then kind of subside a little bit Tuesday afternoon, a little over 20 miles per hour. But look at this. I like see that all that kind of going through the morning hours on Wednesday. I mean, you're talking 20, 30 miles per hour. That is going to be a little bit of a concern here as we go through the day on Wednesday. So the humidity this afternoon by 5 p.m., not so bad. Now as we go into kind of the midday to afternoon, we're talking low 20s, even some upper teens in there as well for Tuesday. And then there you can see on Wednesday, now even through the afternoon, we're talking mid-teens for those humidity levels. This is why there is that elevated fire risk. You see those winds are going to be strong on Wednesday with low humidity. The combination of the two is unfortunately going to give us that fire weather risk, even though we're in November. November can typically still see that fire season go into that month. But there you can see the approaching storm system. Most of the rain, as you can see, is over Washington and even Oregon. We saw that kind of that prefrontal showers kind of push on through, but the main cold front will be pushing through this morning and into the afternoon, and it will just clip Northern California. So looking at Futurecast, we're seeing things kind of drying out this morning a little bit here, but then through the mid to late morning hours, maybe a chance for a sprinkle or a light shower. Now, I think most of the activity, if you see any, will be in Siskiyou, Del Norte, and Humboldt counties. Now, extreme northern Trinity County, say around Trinity Center, Callahan, sure, maybe a shower. Northwestern Modoc County, around Newell, for example, Tule Lake, for example, okay, maybe a stray sprinkler or light shower, but probably dry through the day for a place like Alturas. And of course, everyone else in the eastern mountains, in the valley, and Trinity County as well. 5 p.m., everyone else also seeing those dry conditions. Tuesday, a couple of passing clouds, but overall we're looking at a dry day for your Tuesday, taking you through your Wednesday, mainly sunny skies, even for the coast. So we have some gorgeous, gorgeous weather in store for us. We've just got to watch for those winds, especially on Wednesday. We've got a classic setup with high pressure to our west, low pressure to our east. And you can see we're kind of sandwiched between the two. See these white lines are called isobars. When they're tightly packed together, that's when the winds can be strong or are strong. And so we've got that tight pack with those isobars and sandwiched between the two. Rotation around that high pressure, rotation around the low pressure. So that's what helps to support those strong north winds that we'll see on Wednesday. The good news is this all shifts eastward, so our winds die down, but the warmer air is also beginning to move in. So we'll probably see an increase in our temperatures come Thursday and Friday. Now, once this passes, what this is doing is it's basically opening up the storm door. It's saying, hey, come on in. If there's a storm out there, come on in and bring us the rain. But this storm system, look at, first of all, its trajectory. It's mainly going to be moving into Canada and moving through the Pacific Northwest, that cold front. The very tail end of it is just going to be passing through us on Saturday. Unfortunately, it's not going to really bring us much in the way of rain on Saturday, at least according to this forecast model. But if you were to look at the European forecast model, it would have that area of low pressure a little bit more to the south. We'd see better chances for showers. But bottom line, even if we do see anything, it'll be very light. Now, it looks like there may be a bit of a break on Sunday, but again, there's a little bit of uncertainty in the timing and intensity of these storm systems. So I'm keeping that chance in there even for Sunday. But this looks to move through sometime around Monday with some heavier rainfall, especially the first half of the day on Monday, kind of tapering off Monday afternoon, Monday evening. But you're also seeing snow in there as well. We've got snow levels probably somewhere around 4,500 feet, give or take, depending on where you are. Now, as we go into Tuesday of next week, that'll move on out, maybe a bit of a drier trend. However, looking at the precipitation outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, they're putting this in the wetter than normal category. Now, what does that mean when we talk about that, when I say the wetter than normal category? Well, think about it this way. The darker the green, the better the chances of seeing above normal rainfall. The lighter the green, the slimmer the chances of seeing above normal rainfall. But bottom line, as long as we can get into that green, that's at least saying, all right, there's potential for some rainfall out there. Kind of the same situation with the temperatures. We're looking at near normal temperatures with the cooler than average temperatures off to our east. So we look at that 10-day trend. Here's what we got going on. Temperatures kind of going up and down a little bit, upper 60s to low 70s in the valley. Just a gorgeous week in store for us, minus, of course, the winds in the valley. Then, after we get into Friday, Saturday, temperatures will really start to drop. We're in the low 60s going into next week. Now, kind of just one thing I like to point out is, especially this time of the year, when we start to see a drop in the temperatures here, and especially a nice drop in the temperatures, that's usually a sign that we've got some colder and wetter conditions beginning to move in. So there is that potential that we could be looking at a wetter pattern moving in after that, but nothing guaranteed at this point. I'm just not seeing anything major moving our way. Like I said, I think Monday will be the day that we can see the best chance for some measurable rainfall. But here's what it looks like for today. And when I say Monday, next Monday, not today. There you can see the wave heights for today. They're actually fairly high. Let's take you into your Tuesday, and that is going to pretty much illustrate my clicker again. I was talking about even on Friday. I'm going to figure that out today. I need to remind myself. There you can see Tuesday at 5 p.m. There, of course, still seeing those strong wave heights. That's going to create some problems here. So as a result, there is a small correct advisory. North winds at 5 to 10 knots. Your waves from the north at 2 feet at 5 seconds, and from the northwest at 13 feet at about 17 seconds. All right, so here's your Trinity County detailed neighborhood forecast here, right here on Coffee with Krueger. Those temperatures in the mid to upper 60s, upper 60s to even around 71 degrees out in Coffee Creek. Now, what you're going to notice on every single 7-day forecast, I've got the chance in there on Saturday, Sunday. At this point, don't cancel any of your outdoor plans on either day. We've got to wait for a little bit more consistency in the long-range forecast models before I can really set that in stone. But I do just want you to be aware it's something that we're watching here over the weekend. Otherwise, for today, dry for Trinity County, 50s and 60s there. Now, for southern Humboldt County, I think you'll be looking at dry conditions today, looking at mostly sunny skies. But as you start heading northward, we're starting to see more clouds. There may be a stray sprinkle or even a light shower for places like Fortuna, Ferndale, Hydesville through this morning, really. And then by the afternoon, it starts to dry out for pretty much everyone that's seeing that chance. So again, you can see Blue Lake, a slight chance. Eureka as well. Dry through the week, slight chance for showers over the weekend, something worth tracking here. 56 for Gas Key, 59 degrees for Smith River, and 66 degrees in Orleans. Now for Siskiyou County, Again, that slight chance here for this morning. Otherwise, the afternoon is dry. Low 60s for the Highway 96 corridor. I-5 temperatures in the low to mid 50s. Look for a high of 55 for Greenview in Scott Valley, 56 degrees for Fort Jones. In Callahan, a high of about 58 degrees. We take it to central, eastern Siskiyou County. 40s and 50s there, even some 60s out towards Dunsmuir in McLeod, 57 degrees for Mount Shasta City. We take you out to Modoc County, and temperatures there should mainly be in the low 50s, although Newell about 49. Now, if we see a stray sprinkle or a light shower in Modoc County, it's right here. So Newell, but most likely can be eastward, should be most likely looking at dry conditions even this morning. Eastern Mountains neighborhood forecast. Bernie about 60, 58 degrees in Viola, 67 degrees for Paynes Creek. All of the Eastern Mountains will be dry today. There's a look at Lake Elminor, and there you can see temperatures there, upper 50s to low 60s. Chester about 61. 59 for the peninsula. There's 47 out in Summit Lake and Manzanita Lake, about 54 degrees. We take you to the south with Paradise, a high of 68 degrees today. Dry for Paradise, dry for Susanville, dry for the Eastern Mountains in general. Here is your Valley Neighborhood Forecast brought to you by our friends at Walgamith Painting. We've got temperatures in the low to mid 70s. Look at that. Willow's about 75, 73 degrees for Orland. We got 73 for Red Bluff and 73 degrees in Oroville. There's a look at your Valley Neighborhood Forecast to the north. And you can see about 73 degrees for the city of Shasta Lake, 70 in Whiskeytown, and Cottonwood about 73. Notice I put the word windy in there for Wednesday. That's because I expect the winds to be strongest on Wednesday, but we still are looking at breezy, borderline windy conditions off and on today and tomorrow. Temperatures are kind of going up and down a little bit here, but generally in the upper 60s to low 70s. And again, there is that chance for a shower or two over the weekend. But again, we got to talk about what that means, and looking at the latest forecast model data, and the European forecast model is showing showers on Saturday. The GFS, the American forecast model, has it dry on Saturday. Sunday, both agree that it's dry, but then by Monday, we could be looking at potential for, I think, a better chance for rain, because most of the long-range forecast models agree that that's when we could see some of the heaviest rainfall and, of course, snow, mainly above 4,500 feet. We have got Darlene Babb saying good morning, everyone. She is saying good morning, wishing everybody a great Monday. Well, thank you, Darlene. I think everyone else appreciates the kind words, and wishing everybody a nice day. Looks like we've got, oh yeah, never mind. All right, folks. Well, that's going to do it for us this morning. Hope you're having yourselves a great start to the work week. If you're retired, good for you. Awesome. It's funny because that's kind of the thing a lot of people have been saying to me since I left TV a year and a half ago. Can you believe? See, June, July, August, October, November. Yeah, it has been a year and a half exactly. 18 months I've been doing Weather NorCal. Can you believe that? Wow. They say if you can get through the first 2 years of owning a business and you're still afloat, you're going to make it. All right, folks, we've got 6 more months to go. Are we going to make it? Can we make it? I think we will. I think we're going to be just fine, folks. Because, I don't want to have to stop this. And I don't even know what I would do, because I don't think I'm going to go. If this doesn't work, I'm not going back to TV. That is for sure. Watch, right? No. No, but that's not even going to be, that's not even something you have to think about, because it's not going to fail. It's going to be great. So there you go. 6 months. I'm sorry. 18 months. A year and a half. That's crazy. All right. Well, let's leave you. I know time does fly, Debbie. I know exactly what you're talking about here. It's turning out to be really a nice day. And I would anticipate that it's going to be a little windy out there. Sunny skies. Should be pretty nice though. Just be careful when we're talking fire days. I know it's November. I know it's cooler out there, but that fire weather risk is high for the next couple of days. So let's just be careful. All right, folks. Have yourselves a great Monday. We'll see you right back here on Coffee with Krueger at 7 a.m. Until then, have a great great day, and we'll see you tomorrow.